Okay, who says you can't eat pizza on keto? So if you've never been to the low carb cruise, this is something that you have to try the next time you go. And that is you have to order a pizza at Sorrento's, which is the pizza place that's open, almost all night. Hey, what's up, family? I'm Rachel.
And I'm Joe.
And we are two
Crazy Ketos. And if you're new to our channel, welcome. Here on Two Crazy Ketos, we do different things like recipe videos and we do product reviews. We talk about various keto topics, and every Monday we go live on Keto Beyond the Couch because life exists beyond the couch.
You can find us in different social media platforms like Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter.
And we have a website, which is twocrazyketos.com, and that's where you're going to find all of our different recipes. Now, we do upload at least 5 new videos every single week, so make sure you subscribe to our channel.
And don't forget to hit the little bell icon, and that way every single time we're going on a cruise, you'll be alerted to it.
We're supposed to be getting ready to go live right now.
I know. I feel like really weird. Like
we're cheating.
This is not a regular Monday.
Right.
But I am getting ready to hop into the premiere of Keto Beyond the Couch as we make our way to the port of Miami.
Yep. So we are going on what we've deemed our birthday cruise.
Happy birthday.
So we decided that this year for our birthdays, instead of buying presents or anything like that, we were going to do an experience because honestly, I'm the hardest person in the world to shop for.
You are. Thanks for saying that. So I'm not the one saying that.
And so we decided to go on a cruise, just a 4-night, 5-day cruise out of Miami to the Bahamas. Coincidentally, this happens to be the same exact itinerary that we're doing with the CocoCay getaway cruise in January. And though this is a vacation trip, it's not a work trip, we always find a way to turn something into work somehow.
Right. Well, I'm excited to be the eyes and ears on the ground of this cruise, and particularly the fact that we have the same itinerary as you're saying as our cruise in January. I'm going to be looking out for fun spots, throughout Nassau and the Bahamas that maybe we can point people to if they've never been there on a cruise in January.
So here's what we're going to do is we're actually going to do this trip, and we're not going to do a lot of filming, but we're going to do some filming, and we're going to break it into 3 separate videos. We're going to have a video on just like what we do.
Right.
We're going to have a video on
food,
things to bring
right
on a cruise, especially if you're keto. And then the third one will be this one, which is what are we going to eat when on a cruise? Like, can you make a cruise keto and stay keto but still have a good time?
We're going to try our best.
Okay, so we are waiting for our cabin to open up. So we came up here to the Windjammer. We already went down, made reservations because we're going to be eating at all the different specialty restaurants. There's a few here. So we've got reservations tonight for Chops Grille as well as the Hibachi. So we're going to have that. We're probably going to skip main dining room for this cruise because we want to try some of the different specialty restaurants so that we can see what it's like for the other cruises we have planned. So while we're waiting, we came up here to the Windjammer, and I'm just trying a couple different things. I'm really in the mood for a salad, so I'm having a little bit of salad, just basically some lettuce, cucumbers, feta cheese, some peppers. Then I just took a couple of little bites of, they have a beef goulash and also beef curry. I got a hamburger with some bacon. It's probably American cheese. I don't care. I'm on a trip. Pickles. I've got a piece of broccoli, a piece of cauliflower. Some salami. I'm really into salami lately. I don't know why. I never really was a huge salami person. I could take or leave it if it's on a hero or something like that. But lately we've been getting salami and different flavored beef bolognese, and then you heat it up in the microwave, let it get a little crispy. Sometimes you put a little bit of cheese on it. It's so good. I also use it to wrap around other things like a hot dog that's wrapped around salami. And then also, I'm having some Swiss cheese. I will be eating cheese on my cruise.
Okay, so I made my plate. We have such a beautiful view here. What a great place for sail away. But I went to the carving station. They had roast beef, and then they also had some grilled fish, which I was really excited to see. They had some, breaded seafood options. I love seafood, but I did want it grilled. So I was really pleased to see that on the menu. I got some horseradish sauce and some Dijon mustard sauce. And as you can see, my holiday nails. Of course, we do not leave home without our Redmond, but it leaks sometimes. So I actually brought this like super fancy bougie sticker that I put on top of it because we got to have our Redmonds, but I do not want my purse full of salt.
I just thought that I should come up with a 3D print cap for the Redmonds.
Would you please do that?
I need to design that and then make a cap that you can put on it and then put it in your purse.
So something I like about the refreshment package that they offer is that you can get bottled San Pellegrino, and I intend to take full advantage of my package because I love San Pellegrino, and we did not bring our soda stream with us.
So you ready to get your food on?
I am ready to get my steakhouse on. Like, they don't even know what's coming. Like, we're probably some of the first people to eat at Chops on this particular cruise because we have kind of an early, grandparent special of like 5:30 that we're eating.
Well, that's because we want to also get to the hibachi place afterwards.
We have 2 reservations tonight. Who can eat like Rachel? I need 2 meals tonight. Okay, so we are at Chops Grille. This is the first time coming to this place for me. I'm super excited. Been really looking forward to this steakhouse. So we are beginning with appetizers, and I got the tuna tartare because I've never had that before. I've had beef tartare, but I've never had tuna tartare. Really looking forward to that. I thought it was so nice because we do not eat bread. Our waiter brought us shrimp cocktail as a consolation prize. How awesome is that?
Look at the size of the shrimp.
They're colossal for sure.
Those things are huge. And then for me, I'm having the beef carpaccio.
I've never had beef carpaccio either. This is way too fancy for us.
Okay, for salad, I got the Caesar salad, which is basically just like your lettuce, your romaine, and it's got a dressing on it, which I'm not going to worry about like bad oils or anything on the cruise. I got some shaved Parmesan, and then we put some black pepper on it, and I just told them no croutons.
I got the wedge. Look at this beautiful piece of artwork. It is absolutely too pretty to even eat, but I am going to eat it. It's a wedge of lettuce, and it's got blue cheese and bacon crumbles all over it. I cannot wait to dig in. I feel so fancy right now. I did not order a steak, which I know is totally not Rachel-like. However, I wanted to try something I've never had before, and so I did. This is the grilled branzino. It smells amazing and it looks wonderful. So it's fishy fish. Definitely not something that Joe is probably going to order, but I am really looking forward to it. And take a look at the sides that came with it. We got the mushrooms, some spinach, which is just cream and spinach, and some asparagus.
And I am having a 16-ounce bone-in ribeye. It smells amazing. Okay, you're going to regret not getting this ribeye.
I didn't get the steak. The fish is really good.
It's like butter.
We're coming back here.
Yes, we got 2 more reservations.
Do you think they'll let me have 2 steaks just to like the one that got away on Monday night?
Well, that was delicious.
That was amazing, and I am pleased to report that, like a hobbit, we are going to second dinner.
We are going to go to the Izumi Hibachi.
Yeah.
So we bought the the dining package, the unlimited dining package. And on Black Friday it was like $120 a person.
But for the whole cruise.
For the whole cruise, and it's unlimited.
And we wanted to be able to report back, like, because these restaurants are on a lot of cruises. And so the low carb cruise is going to have some of these restaurants. And I'd like to be able to tell everybody, what is a good deal, in case they want to try it for themselves. It is so awesome.
This cruise is the best cruise ever.
Amazing. Absolutely amazing.
So, yeah, we bought the unlimited dining package because we wanted to try different things. Now, there's 3 specialty restaurants plus Johnny Rockets on here. So you have Giovanni's, and then you have Izumi, which actually I guess that's technically 2 because there's the sushi and then there's the hibachi.
Right, 2 sides.
And then you have Chops. But the thing is that if you want to try these different places, we feel bad being keto that like we go to say Giovanni's and we're not going to eat the pasta, and I don't want to pay and then not eat the pasta. Like, so by getting the unlimited, I don't feel bad.
No, because you can try what you want, what is for you, and then you can just calmly let go of the other things. Like you said, it's if you even go to a theme park and you order a hamburger and fries and you can't eat the bun and you can't eat the fries, you feel like you've really spent a lot of money on nothing. So it's nice that we can take what we need and not eat the other things. And they're very accommodating. As soon as you let them know what are your specific dietary requirements, he got it right away. We said keto and he was like, are you low carb? You're trying to avoid carbs? And we were like, yeah. And he's like, okay, so no bread. And right away he said, I think the only thing that wouldn't be good for you at Chops would be the crab cakes because there's bread crumbs in the crab cakes.
Right. Yeah, but overall, that was really good. So we're going to go get some hibachi.
So we're at Izumi, the hibachi side. And I don't know, I'm at a toss-up here. Joe says he's going to get the New York steak and the chicken breast. I am debating between the beef tenderloin and tiger shrimp and the sea scallops and lobster. Both of those sound amazing. And again, we just told them as soon as we were sitting down that we don't eat rice, bread, pasta, any of that sort of stuff. And they were completely prepared to accommodate us. So that's going to be great. We're going to enjoy the protein and some vegetables.
It was actually really amazing that the hostess said, is there any dietary restriction? And we said, we don't eat the pasta and the rice and stuff like that. And the waiter came over and said, oh, you mean you just don't eat carbs? So like they're ready for you to say, I don't want carbs. So don't be afraid to say like, I don't want to eat sugar. I don't want to eat pasta. They're used to it and they're very, very accommodating. Like I said, in the last place, like when we ate at Chops, because we weren't eating the bread, the guy brought us an extra shrimp cocktail. Like, they don't even care. Just go ahead and order it.
Rather have shrimp cocktail.
Okay, we're about to really upset a lot of people. I'm going to eat some edamame beans. I love edamame, and we really don't go out to Japanese restaurants very often, so I don't eat it that much. But this actually is not bad on keto. It is a legume, but if you ate a half a cup of just the beans, that's only like 9 total carbs, 5 of which are fiber, or 4 of which are fiber. Doesn't really matter because I count total carbs. But this is a fiber that you could actually deduct if you want because God made this fiber.
We're going to start with a small side salad.
Okay, so I got my food. We just told them we don't want the rice, so they're just keeping the rice up there. But we got vegetables, and then I've got chicken, steak, and then also chicken.
Okay, so I already ate my vegetables. I left some onions though because it's a lot. I was used to eating a lot of garlic and a lot of onions before keto, but I don't do that now. So now a little bit goes a long way with me. So I'm having scallops and I'm having lobster. I'm super excited about it.
So we just left Izumi Hibachi. What are your thoughts? Because I have some thoughts. I don't know if you want me to go first.
Yeah, go ahead. Because I have some real thoughts because we have not been back to a hibachi place since we went keto.
Now, so prior to keto, going out for a birthday, a celebration, something like that.
Yes.
It was always hibachi, like Benihana, whatever. We had a local one in Coral Springs. That was where we went. We haven't been there since keto. And now I'm like, we thought that was healthy back then.
We totally thought it was healthy. And I was watching like how much filler food you get.
Rice, very little vegetables.
Very, very little vegetables. Most of the vegetables was just like onions. And I know we're getting top shelf service here. This is great. This is the best. This is like a Benihana meal.
The entertainment was fun.
Fantastic. They did a great job. It's just that I didn't realize back when we were eating it that it was mostly a big bowl of rice with some eggs in it, and then a lot of onions and garlic and a very, very little bit of meat.
Right. Well, and then add in that they're not using great oils and stuff like that. But here's the thing. Now that I'm looking back, and I'm not talking about the price on the ship. I'm talking about just off of the ship. It costs the same amount of money to go to Benihana as it does to go to a Brazilian steakhouse.
It does.
So why not that? Now, As far as eating here on the ship, was the food good? In Izumi for the hibachi, yes, it was.
Very good.
We have the unlimited dining plan, and it is supposed to be, when you go to Izumi, a $15 upcharge. So you have your unlimited dining plan, and if you want to eat the hibachi, it's a $15 charge. So instead of the $60, you pay $15. They didn't charge that to us because we were not getting dessert and stuff. So, and I did not even know that. We fully expected to pay the $15 because we wanted to review it for you guys. And then when he brought us our bill, he said, listen, you guys didn't eat the carbohydrates, you didn't eat the rice, you didn't eat the dessert, so we're not charging that. So I really, really appreciate that. Kudos to Royal Caribbean. Would I go there again? Probably not. I'd rather just go to Chops twice in the night.
I would too, and I feel it feels crazy.
It was good, but it wasn't spectacular.
It wasn't. And
Chops was spectacular.
Well, and I've really come to enjoy how you prepare lobster. When you're cooking lobster, it is just like gobs of like butter roasted in, and this is like lobster and scallops cooked with butter being the enemy a little bit.
Yeah, I don't know if that's actually butter or if it's fake butter.
I feel like it was
I have a feeling it's fake butter.
Because it just didn't have the flavor that butter adds to seafood. And again, the scallops were cooked perfectly, but it was like, I don't know. I mean, it just was not the flavor that I was hoping.
Now, they also have the Izumi sushi. And the way that works with the unlimited dining plan is you get a $40 credit. So it's because it's a la carte pricing, you get a $40 credit. So we're going to do that on another day.
Because they do have sashimi.
The hibachi was good, but I probably would not go there again, especially if you were to get upcharged the $15, or if you're going to pay the $60, considering you're not going to get the rice, you're not going to get the dessert, unless you're just going to go off of keto. And I don't feel like I got $60 worth of meat.
No, definitely did not get $60 worth of food that I could really thoroughly enjoy. It wasn't like when we were at Chops. I mean, there were times when it's like you had to put your fork down because you were just like in this moment of delight that you were like, I gotta slow down and shoot this thing 20 times because it's that good. But I thought it was really nice to be able to close a chapter on that concern when you would see like friends, co-workers that were going to a hibachi for their birthday celebration, and me thinking, oh, probably my days of hibachi are over, boo-hoo me.
I don't miss it.
I don't miss it, but I think I needed to go to this in order to come to that conclusion.
What are you drinking?
What do you think? Some lovely black coffee. Try to wash out some of the garlic in my mouth. I'm hoping to get some kisses later on tonight, but there was a lot of garlic consumed at the hibachi place today. As he was like putting more of it on, Joe and I kept looking at each other like, yeah, we're gonna have to sleep in separate rooms.
I am having a black eye coffee. This is a coffee with 2 shots of espresso. We're getting it here in the Promenade. I forget the name of the place that this is, Cafe Promenade. That's where we're getting it. And they don't have heavy cream here on the ship. So your choices are skim milk, or cream, which I'm assuming is half and half. And here's my thing. When we're at home, we use butter or we'll use heavy cream, or our new thing is just using keto chow. But if we're out, like something like this, I'm just going to use the half and half and understand that I'm giving myself an extra half a carb to a carb. But I'm okay with that because 90% is good enough.
Okay, so we are at the Chill Grill at Perfect Day at CocoCay. What are you eating?
So we're going to try a couple of different places. We're going to walk around and see what there is. But I am hungry now. We were in the water and it was cold.
I think we got some cold therapy, to be honest.
Yeah, and so now like I want food to warm me up. I got a hot mess of a plate because I want to try everything. So I did get a burger because if something isn't good, the burger is the fallback. So they have burgers and hot dogs. So they have Cuban sandwiches. So what I did was I got a Cuban sandwich and then I went over to the garbage can and I put all of the meat and the pickles and everything. I put it on my plate and threw out the bread. They have Philly cheesecakes. I did the same thing where I just basically scraped all the meat off and I just threw out the bread. That allowed me more room on my plate to get other stuff instead of bringing it back here and throwing out the bread. Plus, this way the bread's not tempting when I'm sitting down here, like, to eat. Like, I've already thrown it in the garbage. Then they have, like, basically build your own tacos, and they have everything. If you don't want to stay keto, they have refried beans and rice and all that kind of stuff. But they have a chicken, and they also have pork carnitas, and then they have a full fixings bar. So I've got the chicken and the pork, and then I put some jalapenos, some cheese, some salsa, and also some sour cream. They do have guacamole, which I'm not the biggest guacamole fan. It's like a texture thing for me, but I'm sure Rachel is going to like have a lot of it. So what did I tell you? Rachel is gonna mound up the guacamole.
I did, and I was gonna do a little bit different than Joe. I was just gonna have a second plate that just had all of the like Philly cheesesteak sandwiches and the Cuban and stuff, and just take it apart at the table. Bread does not entice me anymore, so I'm not worried about taking it apart at the table, but it's too windy to carry 2 plates. So I went ahead and deconstructed it at the bar, which was really nice. But yeah, I've got some pork carnitas, chicken. There's a little tiny sad sheet of salad or lettuce underneath all of this, but yeah, I just took all the meats.
What were your thoughts on the food?
So I really liked the sandwiches, like the sandwich guts. Like the Cuban sandwich in particular was awesome. That ham and the cheese and the pickle and the mustard together was really good. But here is definitely, Rachel has come so far. So I should have saved it, but I just tossed it out. I probably didn't eat half my plate because I ate what tasted really good to me. And then Joe said, hey, there's like another place, like a barbecue place on the island. I'm like, you know what? I'm done here.
It looks like there's 3 places and they all have the same thing, but we're gonna go check it out.
I just don't want a cold salad right now.
Well, the thing is it was like, okay.
Yeah.
I'm not knocking it.
No.
It was theme park food.
Yes.
Okay, that's the best I can explain it. Like the hamburger, theme park cooked hamburger, not like an awesome hamburger, not a horrible hamburger, maybe a touch better than McDonald's.
Yeah.
But it just like theme park buffet food. The Windjammer food is obviously, I think, a lot
way better.
All the restaurants on board are a lot better. So like, if you want to eat, it's here. But it's like, yeah, I didn't finish all my food, but I would agree. The Cuban guts were really good. The Philly cheesesteak guts were really good, but like the pork carnitas, the only thing good about it was the fact that I mounded it with sour cream and guacamole. Or not in cheese, rather. I didn't have the guacamole.
Well, and I had guacamole to eat, and it was funny. So I wasn't in the mood to just eat a big ball of guacamole. So, and I didn't even get the hot dog. I'm roller dog princess, right? And I didn't want a hot dog or a hamburger. I wanted something a little different.
I'm not going to eat to eat. I'm going to eat that I like it. And if I don't like it, it's included in my cruise. What? I'm going to throw it out. I'm not trying to be wasteful, but if I don't like it, I'm not going to eat it.
Okay, so it is night 2, and we are coming back to Chops Grille because it was just flipping amazing last night, and I want it again, right? So I'm going to try to order something different tonight, at least the protein. I'm not promising that I'm ordering a different salad because that wedge salad was the bomb.
One thing about coming to Chops Grille that I'm enjoying is I don't think we've ever been to this fancy of a restaurant, which sounds kind of funny because like we're on a cruise, right? But we've never gone to like Morton's Steakhouse or Ruth's Chris Steakhouse. I'm not used to like the maitre d' when they come and sitting you, like pulling your chair out for you, putting your, napkin in your lap. Like that's just beyond anything that I've ever like experienced before.
Yeah, it has been really fun watching Joe kind of wrestle with people for the napkin because they're like putting it into his lap, but he doesn't realize what they're doing. And so it's like, what are you doing? Going for my zipper? No, I'm just trying to put this napkin in your lap, sir. Okay, so I got the tuna tartare again because it was amazing. And our waiter, Victor, was so nice. He actually brought another shrimp cocktail because we don't get the bread.
And I got some bacon. So this is like a spicy bacon. They do have like a little bit of a ketchup on there, but I'm okay with that. But it's not really bacon. It's pork belly. I really don't want to share this with you.
Is it that good?
It is really, really good, but I feel like I need to share it with you to save our marriage because it's literally like all fat, like no meat, just it's like pork belly fat.
That's amazing. So I brought Joe over to the dark side with the salad because the wedge salad is where it is at. It is absolutely delicious. He got the Caesar salad last night with no croutons. Really good, delicious. But this blue cheese on this wedge salad is incredible. And they have crisped the bacon perfectly. Okay, so tonight I ordered the lamb. And I'm telling you what, when I get home, I'm going to get some of these plates because check this out. You have the sauce that like goes into this ridge. There's a ridge all the way around this plate, which is perfect for sauces. So I don't miss a dip. I love it.
I am having the chicken, and it's got a little bit of an au jus sauce. We wanted to try different things. I love chicken, so I'm going to have the chicken, and then here's our sides today. We're having the asparagus, mushrooms, which is more of a Rachel thing, and then cream spinach. Last night, Rachel ate all of my cream spinach, so tonight he brought us 2 of them, and I'm going to eat 1.5 because Rachel ate mine last night.
It's a vicious lie. Okay, who says you can't eat pizza on keto? So if you've never been to the low carb cruise, this is something that you have to try the next time you go. And that is you have to order a pizza at Sorrento's, which is the pizza place that's open, I mean, almost all night, and scrape all the toppings off of the top and leave what we call a pizza crust tower out of the leftover pizza crust. Okay, so this is what a pizza stack looks like when you're done eating a pizza. Now, this isn't a very high tower. I believe that Cindy from Ask Nurse Cindy holds the current record for the highest pizza stack. If you think that you could take her on, I suggest coming on the low carb cruise and seeing how high of a pizza crust stack you can make, or on one of the 2KK family cruises in January. I challenge everybody that's going to be joining us in January to see if you can get a higher stack of pizza crust than this.
I feel like we should have a prize for who makes the highest stack on the 2KK cruise.
I am in. We will absolutely be doing that. We're going to have a prize for the highest stack on the January cruise.
And you have to have a photo of you with the stack. You can't just say like you've got to have the stack. So good morning from Nassau, Bahamas. We had such a good time last night. Just amazing. We cannot wait to be coming on pretty much the same cruise with the 2KK family in January. Now today we're here in Nassau. We're just going to kind of just walk around a little bit. We don't have any excursions planned. We're kind of saving that for the family cruise in January, see what everybody else is doing. Right now, Rachel is getting ready so we can kind of go walk around Nassau. And I came up here to the Windjammer to have some breakfast. And so here's what I'm having. I'm having some scrambled eggs. They have scrambled eggs, and they also have scrambled eggs with ham and cheese. I've got a couple of fried eggs, some pork sausage, and some bacon.
Okay, so we just got back from Nassau. We're in the Windjammer and wanted to have a little breakfast lunch. And so I'm having a hot dog. I got a little salad with egg on it. 1 slice of cheese. I'm just kind of in a cheesy mood. And they had some fish curry. So I'm really excited to try this.
And I'm in a salad mood, so I'm having like a Caesar kind of salad. So just a bunch of romaine lettuce, feta cheese, because I absolutely love feta cheese. I put some cucumbers on there, some peppers, a little bit of Caesar dressing. They have a beef goulash, and so what I do is I just pick through and I take only the beef. I don't eat the potatoes. I got a little bit of vegetables, so a couple of carrots, some broccoli, some cauliflower. Then I have a burger. The burger, they have some onions on it, as well as a piece of Swiss cheese. I didn't see any bacon today. Sometimes they have bacon on their burgers. I didn't see any today. I love sauerkraut on my burgers. Do you like sauerkraut on your burger? I just like sauerkraut, period. In fact, we have a video on how to make your own. It's like super, super simple. I'll leave a link for that up here. But I'll put sauerkraut on everything, whether it be a hot dog, a sausage, or a hamburger. Then I got pickles, and then, of course, an extra slice of Swiss cheese to put on top of my burger.
So this fish curry is so stinking good. It was so good that even Joe tasted it and he likes it.
Okay, this is a weird one for us. We're going to have dinner tonight at Giovanni's. And the reason I say it's weird is because we always talk about how, like, where we like to go out to eat. And I have never been one to go out to Italian restaurants. I just, for me, most Italian food, I was always able to cook at home. Since we've gone keto, a lot of Italian dishes, they're not very keto friendly. I mean, let's face it, there are a few, but when you go out to Italian restaurants, most of the time they're going to come with a really big carb, like pasta, and usually that's a main focus of the dish. It's not like where you would get a steak with a baked potato. It's like the focus of the dish is pasta. So it's something that we just don't usually do. But Giovanni's is included on our main dining plan. So we wanted to go and see, can we eat keto in Giovanni's? Because I've heard some phenomenal things about Giovanni's. And the other night when we were actually eating at Chops, we were sitting next to these two ladies and they were telling us some of the things to try, even on a keto diet. And I'm really excited. And one of them is ossobuco. So I know that I'm going to be getting that tonight.
Okay, so right off the bat, they have a lot of things in the appetizer selection that looks really promising here. So they've got an assorted meat and cheese platter. They might as well put keto in the title, right? They also have a house salad that's got radicchio, arugula, romaine, endive, heirloom tomatoes, olives, fennel, prosciutto, cheese, and an Italian vinaigrette. So that looks good for us. Also a gigantic meatball. I think that's perfect. It says that there's enough for sharing, so I hope there's enough food for Joe. Oh my goodness. So they just brought the meat and cheese platter. Joe's gonna show it to you. I'm telling you what, I'm gonna eat that whole thing and then he's gonna spank me with this palette because, oh my gracious, this looks delicious. And then here is the house salad that came. It looks lovely. And actually, it looks perfect for sharing, even more so for a keto family where we're just going to have a little bit of salad, more for entertainment purposes than anything else.
So I have to tell you, there is a lot of meat on this meat and cheese platter. So first of all, take a look at this. Again, this is for sharing, and you can get it a la carte if you're coming here with a dining plan. But look at this. So I've got all of this salad, I've got all of this meat, I've got these cheeses, we still have leftover salad, and then look at how much meat and cheese is still left. And Rachel's got like the same thing. She just put all of the meat on top of her salad.
I piled it on, and then look what just came.
Take a look at this meatball. This is the meatball gigante, and it is made with, he said, beef and pork. And then there's cheese, and he said when you cut inside of it, there is more cheese. Oh my gosh, look. Ooh. That piece is mine because Rachel just took all the cheese out of the other one.
That's right.
And then it also has spinach in it. There's mozzarella on top, and then this tomato sauce is made from fresh tomatoes here on the ship.
I'm about to dig in. Okay, so one of the biggest obstacles for us going to an Italian restaurant in the first place is the fact that there's so much bread, especially a place that is known for their pizzas like Giovanni's. Now, we didn't want to miss out on enjoying some of their pizzas, especially a meat lover's pizza. Come on. But what we did was just take some bold steps to ask, is there any way that you could make a pizza and don't have any crust underneath it at all? And at first
he was a little shocked.
He was shocked. I guess they have never had that request before. But look at this. You know what he said to me? Anything is possible. So I really appreciated that attitude, and I think that you're going to find at home some of your local Italian restaurants have that same thought process as well. Anything is possible. So be willing to ask them for a special accommodation and look at the beautiful pizza that we are about to enjoy.
What I thought was really interesting is we're waiting for our steak and our ossobuco. And our amazing waiter, he was like, okay, what we're going to do is while we're waiting for the steak, I'm going to bring you over the pizza. And he's like, I am so excited to show you what the chef did. Like, he was really excited to see this. He's like, pizza without bread. And here's my thing is, if you have a local restaurant and they refuse to make accommodations, go somewhere else. There are plenty of places that will make an accommodation. Here we are on a ship, freedom of the seas. We're in a specialty restaurant where it's a little bit more difficult to make accommodations. Like, we tell people when you come on the low carb cruise or on the Two Crazy Ketos cruise, they'll help you out, but let's not put them overboard. They're dealing with 4,000, 5,000, 8,000 passengers. And here they were willing, no problem. We'll just eliminate the bread. They put it in a pan and we get to eat all the good stuff on a pizza. I'm a little disappointed in my main course that has come, because everything has been so good. That meatball was really filling. So is the meat platter. Like that meat and cheese like appetizer was so filling, and then you add in the pizza. I'm getting full. And we're just getting ready to eat our main course. So I've got ossobuco. So ossobuco is really known as a peasant meal, but you do find it in a lot of like finer dining Italian restaurants. And I'm really, really excited to try this because we've heard really good things about the ossobuco here at Giovanni's. And usually this does come with risotto. But once again, we just asked them, hey, can you do us a favor? If at all possible, if you can't, don't worry about it. That's how we always address things. We say, listen, if you can do this, awesome. If you can't, we completely understand. And they're always very, very accommodating. So I asked them, is there any way we can skip the risotto and just give me some side vegetables? And they gave us this beautiful bed of vegetables. There's some spinach and some tomatoes. I see some mushrooms. I am super excited for this.
So I got the easiest keto option available, which was the filet, and no regrets. I was really looking forward to having a steak tonight, and that's what I'm going to have. Now, it did come with some fried polenta. It's on the exterior of the dish. I'm just going to put that to the side and enjoy this beautiful cut of meat.
So it is Thursday morning, a little rough outside, but we're still going to enjoy our day. And while Rachel was taking a shower and stuff, I ran up to the Windjammer and got us some breakfast. Sometimes it's just easier to run up there, grab breakfast, and bring it back to our cabin, and we can kind of just sit and not, have to look for a seat or a table or anything. And that's one of the nice things about Royal Caribbean is they let you bring your food back to the cabin. And since we're only 2 decks lower than where the Windjammer is, and we're on the same side of the ship, that's a little hint, like be on the same side of the ship as the Windjammer, then it's nice and easy to get there. I just grabbed our food and brought it back, and here's what I'm having. I've got some bacon, some sausage, a couple of fried eggs, 2 pieces of cheese, and then also they had these like sauteed vegetables. It's like peppers, onions, carrots, stuff you would put in a Western omelet. And then I also got a little bit of cream cheese because I like to eat cream cheese with my eggs. Adds a little bit of fat and has a lot of flavor.
You are looking at a plate of romance right now. My amazing husband was willing to get up and put pants on and go get me some breakfast, and I really, really appreciate it. And he knows what I love, right? So I've got some salmon and cream cheese because I love it. Eggs today, and he got me the ones that were the most fried. Like I want a dead egg, as Miriam and Chris Bear like to call it, like a cooked egg. Sausage, couple of cheese slices, which I could leave or take. I think that maybe this is a little bit of a garnish for Joe to enjoy later. And some bacon. Now, coffee has been provided by our room. I have been loving having a coffee maker in our room. Although, if you are on Royal Caribbean, it's my understanding that if you place an order, a room attendant will bring you fresh coffee in the morning. So I've really been enjoying free access to coffee as much as I want, and this beautiful breakfast. So our intention was to go to sushi, but it is not open right now. So we came down to Johnny Rockets because we do have the all-inclusive specialty dining package, and this is included. So we're going to get some burgers before we head over to dinner at Chops once again tonight. So our burgers came. I ordered a double burger with a cheddar on it. I added some bacon, and then we asked for sides of chili. Their chili does not have beans in it, as we love. And so I'm going to actually dip my hamburger in this chili.
And I'm having a double burger with bacon. You got cheddar. I've got some caramelized onions. And then I'm also having the chili.
It's our last night, and we came back to Chops because I've been dreaming of that lamb. It was excellent. We did decide that it's best for our marriage to have our own bacon appetizer because I don't think either one of us want to share it. No regrets on picking the pork belly as an appetizer, and we're also going to be having another shrimp cocktail.
So I can't believe that I'm saying this, but I'm actually going to have the ribeye again. Now, ribeye is not my favorite cut of beef, but this ribeye is so good. It's more tender than even getting prime rib. In addition, we've got the cream spinach, which is so good. We have the asparagus. Rachel's having the mushrooms because that's not my favorite. And then she's having the lamb.
What planet are we on that I'm ordering lamb and Joe is ordering a ribeye? That was some good eats.
So we just got back from dinner, and I think we're going to end this what we ate on Royal Caribbean's Freedom of the Seas right here. Our original plan was we were going to go get sushi tonight.
Right.
We were going to go down to Izumi and get sushi because it's the only thing that is part of the unlimited dining plan that we did not have.
Eat. Yeah.
We tried to go for lunch and they were closed. And so we said, oh, we'll go after dinner. I'm stuffed.
There's no room. There is no room in the tank.
I'm stuffed. Dinner was so good. I ended up having to give some of my ribeye to Rachel.
And I selflessly took it and ate it for him. But it left me no room for sushi either.
Yeah.
There was or sashimi was basically our intention. They have a chef's like choice sashimi platter. That was basically what I was going to get.
Yeah. Now, if you are interested in the unlimited dining plan, the way it works with Izumi Sushi, because it is an a la carte pricing, I believe it is you get $39 that you can spend on sushi and you get it once a day.
Right.
But you can like go to Chops and then go spend $39 in Izumi. Whereas Chops, there is no charge. It's like all inclusive, and like it really was worth it. I mean, every day that we went there, every meal that we went there, what did we have? We had a salad, an appetizer, we had two sides.
Yep.
They gave us the shrimp cocktail. We had our regular meal. It includes dessert, but we never got dessert.
Who had room for dessert?
I don't know.
Seriously, once we got done eating the side dishes, like usually we don't eat that many vegetables in a sitting. And so I think my stomach has to get used to that as well, because there was like the wedge salad, and then we had mushrooms, and I had asparagus, and I had spinach, the cream spinach. Oh,
so good.
Cream
So
spinach, good. Yes. So yeah, there was so much delicious food. I'm not walking away from the table going like,
I wish I had dessert.
I wish I had dessert, because there's no room from it. And in fact, we weren't the only ones. There was a couple right next to us. They're not keto, but they were just as full as we were when they were done. And so they were like, wow, I'm sure that if dinner was this good, I'm sure the desserts are very elevated as well, but like there's just no room.
Now, a little side note. We spoke to Victor, our waiter.
We love you, Victor.
And he did tell us how they make that pork belly.
Yes.
So we are going to go home and try to recreate that pork belly. So make sure you subscribe to the channel and you hit the bell notification for when that video goes up.
Because it's special.
I also we just have to give another shout out to Victor. If you travel on Freedom of the Seas.
Right.
Between now and March.
Yes.
At least up till March. Mm-hmm. And you go to Chops, ask for Victor.
Yes, he is the best. He's the absolute best.
Yeah, and he actually was telling us his plan is to eventually go back to Liberty of the Seas, which is where he was for 10 years.
10 years from the beginning. I believe he was part of the inaugural crew for that.
That's amazing. So let's get into the nitty gritty about, we'll start off with, was it worth it to get the unlimited dining plan for two reasons. Number one, if you're on keto.
Right.
And number two, on a smaller ship. I mean, Freedom of the Seas is by no means a smaller ship, holding like somewhere around like 4,700 people. But where you only really have 3 specialty restaurants, is it worth it? And I think it's going to come down to, are you planning on going into the main dining room at all? How much do you eat? And also, what do you pay for the unlimited dining plan?
Yes. So we always like to leverage like sales and deals because that does make a huge impact. And we did buy this package during a Black Friday sale.
I had bought it originally at like 25% off, and then Black Friday, I don't remember exactly how much the discount was.
But it was significant.
But it was a decent discount where I believe we paid about $135 per person for the unlimited dining plan. So if you look at how much it costs to go to each one of the specialty restaurants, I believe if you go to Chops, it's somewhere around $60 per person plus gratuity.
Right.
Right? And that's for dinner. And then there's a separate menu for lunch. Giovanni's, I believe, is somewhere around $60 or $65. And then so is Izumi Hibachi. But Izumi Hibachi does have an additional $15 surcharge. So if you factor that in, again, you also have lunch and then Johnny Rockets, like that was like included. But I think when we went to Johnny Rockets, he said it was like $15 or something like that.
If you didn't have the plan.
And just for the burger kind of thing. So did we get our value out of it? Well, we ate at Chops Grille 3 times. And we ate at Giovanni's.
Yeah.
So right there, that's what, $240?
Boom.
And then we also went to Izumi Hibachi. So that's $300.
So I say
plus Johnny Rockets.
Right. So I would say yes. It was definitely from a value perspective. These specialty dining restaurants are, to me, were like the best birthday meal restaurant, anniversary level restaurant that you could go to, and you're getting all of these different types of cuisine. So like if you're like, hey, I can't tell, like, do I want Japanese for my birthday, do I want Italian for my birthday, do I want a steakhouse for my birthday? Having the ability to go to all of these places, and I think every single one was at the top of its game.
Right. Well, I think it was just amazing food. And if you go into it looking at whatever you pay.
Yeah.
So let's say you pay $200. If you average out that the average restaurant's going to cost you $50 to $60, can you at least get your monies back? And to me, anything over getting my money back is a bonus. So if I at least go, if I have to go 4 times, are you going to go 4 times? One of the things that I really enjoyed about the unlimited dining as opposed to the main dining room, because we never went to the main dining room, is the time factor. The main dining room, you can do my time dining, but they say it could be kind of a pain. You have to make reservations way ahead of time. So you have like 5:15 or 7:30 or whatever the times are on the ship. And our experience is it takes a long time. Like, you're there for a couple of hours.
Well, and there were a lot of little things like game shows and bingo that we wanted to be a part of. We didn't want to miss. Right. And I think that going into it, we would have selected a dinner time based on when we think would be the best time for us to eat. But then we would not have been able to, like, just decide in the moment, hey, we want to go to, towel folding, or we want to go to this trivia game thing, because I think you have to be solid in your schedule.
Yeah, so we did make reservations every day, but in speaking with them, they said that it's kind of flexible and there were always some openings. You might have to wait a little bit. Now, we tended to go for like the 5:30 reservation because we wanted to participate in things, but it was nice to go, okay, well, today we want to go at 6:15. We can, whereas with the main dining room, you don't really have that option.
Yeah.
So I enjoyed it. We actually are planning on, we actually have already reserved the full unlimited dining package for the low-carb cruise that's leaving out of Port Canaveral, because we want that flexibility. Because last year with low-carb cruise, we like missed main dining a couple times coming back from excursions, or we wanted to go to a show afterwards. So I like having that flexibility. But overall, I do think it's worth it so long as you think you're going to go. I would say, again, depending on how long your cruise is, at least 3 or 4 times to really say, like, hey, I want to get my money. I want to get the value out of it. If you break even, you're good. If you're going and just stuffing yourself to break even, probably not worth it. So that's everything that we ate while we were on our vacation cruise. but we gotta break this down. We got a couple little quizzes for you.
Okay.
Number 1, favorite bite.
That's a toughie. Favorite bites is going to have to be, wow, I'm going to have to say the lamb.
Really?
At Chops. I was so surprised by it. I was really just trying to taste different things like the fish and the steak, and you had the chicken, and I wanted to just be able to report back the different proteins that were available, and I was not expecting to enjoy the lamb to the point where I had an opportunity to get myself a giant bone-in ribeye and chose the lamb again.
Right.
That was very surprising to me. The other, if I can say like a part B to that, would be the cream spinach. That's cream spinach. I know, and it's cream spinach. All right. Like it when you just say it, it sounds like, well, whoop-de-doo. Not when it buckles your knees, not when it's like cooked so perfectly and it's got the creaminess and the butteriness. It was just a show-stopping side dish.
So that came from Chops. What about a couple of days we did eat at the Windjammer?
So
favorite bite at the Windjammer.
Wow. Definitely going to be the fish curry.
Okay.
The fish curry was excellent, and I liked the option that they had, sort of like an Indian chutney type of dish that had like eggplant and it was kind of pickled. That was really delicious and brought a lot of flavor.
Okay.
What about you?
This was my question, and I've been thinking about like, I can't wait to find out what Rachel's answer is, and I have spent a lot of time thinking, like, what is my answer if she turns around and asks me, what was your favorite question? Because I didn't tell her I was going to ask. I really do want to say that pork belly, that pork belly appetizer.
Yeah.
But I'm going to have to go. We ate there 3 times at Chops, but I'm going to have to shift over to Giovanni's and say that ossobuco.
That was delicious.
And that meatball. The meatball was, oh my gosh, when you added in the cheese and everything else.
They had the perfect ratio of beef to pork. And that's what they said. It was an all meat meatball stuffed with a cheese. So they weren't trying
spinach and
these type of like really high level, high quality restaurants, they're not using filler ingredients.
Right.
They're using the good stuff, and you taste the difference.
I do have to give a little on top of that. I know it's like favorite bite, but like I'm naming everything. Same thing at Giovanni's was that meat and cheese platter appetizer.
Okay, so that leads me to this question for you, and that would be, what were you most surprised by when it came to food this week? Can I start while you're kind of thinking?
Well, you asked me the question. What do you mean, can you start? No, it's my turn. Okay. Can I have to go back to Giovanni's? Like, I was not looking forward to going to Giovanni's. We came into this going, okay, Chops. And there was a time where I'm like, was it really worth it to buy the unlimited dining plan when I started looking at there's really only 3 places for the unlimited dining plan?
Right.
And like, I was questioning myself. And if you've seen our other video about the scale, which I will leave a link up here, not only were we close to canceling this cruise because of the scale, I was absolutely up until a day before, and it was, by the way, too late at this point because I think you have to cancel 48 hours before, really thinking about canceling the unlimited dining plan because I was like, we didn't want to eat. Like, we wanted to cancel the vacation because this scale has been holding us captive. But I started going like, well, okay, we're going to Chops, and so we've got this unlimited dining plan, and I was looking forward to the hibachi and to Izumi, but I'm like, but are we going to get our money's worth? Giovanni's, everyone says Giovanni's is amazing, but it's Italian.
Yeah.
And you can't, it's very difficult to make keto Italian, as we said earlier, because of all the side dishes.
Or so you thought.
And I was, number one, surprised at how good the food was.
It was so good.
Like, everything was amazing. Then add in I was shocked, even though I really do enjoy Royal Caribbean and we've not had a bad experience with service. I was shocked at how willing they were and how far out of the way they were willing to go to make the accommodations in an Italian restaurant for us to match our eating plan.
Right.
Down to, we've never had a request to make a pizza with no dough, but we're going to give it a shot.
I really appreciate that. And I don't think that we're isolated in that. We didn't come in as somebody that's like, you know, that the cruise line had connected, like, hey, here's a bunch of YouTubers that is going to review it, so work with them. This is just them.
They didn't know.
You
like,
know,
they thought we were crazy pulling our camera out.
Right, exactly. So, you know, we could have just been sending a video to our children. I'm going to tell you what surprised me the most was the transport back in time when we went to Izumi and we are having a hibachi, and I was having this flashback, not in a bad way, in a really positive way, about like remembering in birthdays past that going to hibachi was really like the way I celebrated my birthday. Like I would say, hey, I really want us to go, and it would be about $100 for us to go to that, you know, as a couple, and that was with a coupon. Right. To something like a Benihana or a local version of hibachi by us. And I realized as we are eating it that it is a lot of rice. It is a lot of filler food. Even the salad, which was, as I remember it, nothing bad about it, just not the wedge salad from Chops, right? So I thought to myself, wow, I am surprised to see that a lot of times I think when you're on keto, you look back with nostalgia for the things that you don't have access to anymore. And I look back and I'm like, oh my goodness, I'm so glad that that's not what I settle for anymore as a birthday meal. And there's no hate on Izumi. I thought it was great. Everything was prepared deliciously. I had lobster, I had scallops, very, very nice. And the show was wonderful, but it's like, it wasn't how I remembered it.
Okay. So you probably are going to have just answered what my last question for you was before we end this video. Because what I was going to ask you was there anything that disappointed you?
Oh, I think that we only scheduled like 2 of these specialty restaurants during like one of the days of the cruise because we were like spreading it out. But once you realize you can do lunch and dinner
on sea days.
On sea days, I thought, boy, like we probably could have been a little bit more proactive because it was so delicious.
Well, we did try on the first day. We did have 2 meals one day. But after that, like I've just been so full. And again, if you get your money back, was it worth it? And we got our money back. Well, we more than doubled our money. So, yeah.
And I am going home feeling great. I think that sometimes if I'm eating, I don't know, just like okay food, maybe even if it's more of a variety than home, you're like, cool, more of a variety than home. I didn't have to cook it. Like all of those things go through your mind. But I just feel so like invigorated by this quality of protein, quality of vegetables, the richness of the fat, the cream. Like it was just top shelf, and my body is appreciating it.
So for me, I am going home disappointed, but I'm going home disappointed, but at the same time, I'm like okay with the disappointment because it closed a chapter.
Okay.
And that is with Izumi. So like you, Izumi was, prior to keto, the place to go. Now it wasn't Izumi, but it was Benihana or any type of hibachi. That's where we went. We never went to Brazilian steakhouses. We did a lot of those things. You had the show. We thought we were eating healthy.
Yeah. Oh, right? Yeah.
That was like the healthy eating. Not only that, but also when you would go to the mall and they have all like the Szechuan food, remember, free samples. Like we'd literally go to the mall going, this is healthier
right.
than what we're going to eat at home. And so I guess I had this high expectation that Izumi Hibachi was going to be amazing and easy to make keto, and it was going to like bring these flashbacks of going out to dinner with the kids. And what I went in, now the food was good. What we had was good. But would I go back there again being on keto? No. I probably wouldn't go back there at all. But for me, on keto, I just don't think it's worth it because you don't get a lot of food. You get your protein, you can have the veggies, you can have the salad, but there's a $15 upcharge with the unlimited dining plan. And all that rice is just sitting there. You're not going to eat that. And if we would have gone there first, I definitely would have had to go somewhere else to eat afterwards. So that definitely disappointed me that I didn't get the excitement that I thought I was going to get. But it did close a chapter of okay, I'm good. I don't have to go there anymore.
Which I really appreciate. Sometimes a closed door is an answer. Yeah, right. Closure is a great thing. And the other thing that kind of goes with that is because you have to decide up front because they're cooking it in live time, you've decided, hey, I want the chicken or I want the chicken and beef or I want a combination with shrimp or something like that. You're deciding right up front, this is what I want. And they make it during this show, this presentation of the hibachi, and that's it. You kind of get what you get, like what you ordered. If you're going to Chops or Giovanni and you decide for instance, we ordered an appetizer that was the tuna tartare. And I'm I'm having a hard time deciding between that or a shrimp cocktail or...
He's have both.
Have both. But that is not something that they can easily do in the hibachi setting because you've got so many people at the table and everybody sort of picks their protein and we move forward with it. And even when it came to the Giovanni's, I couldn't decide between do I want steak or do I want a pizza. And I even said to him, if you can make the pizza without the pizza crust, great. That's what I want. Or if you can't do that, I understand and I'll get the steak. And he's like, you know what? Let's do both. Right. But that is not something that I think that they could do at the hibachi setting.
Yeah, and not a knock on them because I think they did their best they could to accommodate
Absolutely.
Our eating style. I think when you're going in to a Japanese, Chinese setting, it is a little bit more difficult. Forget the MSG or any of that kind of stuff. Just when very much like Italian, where it is very much based on carbohydrates, pasta and rice and things like that. I think Chinese, Japanese food is another thing that's a little bit more difficult to get full on when you're in a restaurant because of what the bulking agent is, and in this case is rice. But I will say that they do have vegetables, and they knew going into it that we were not eating carbs. And unlike the other two restaurants, they did not offer, would you like more vegetables? How about more vegetables in place of the rice?
Right.
Now, when he made the vegetables, he did give us vegetables first, and there were 4 or 5 people at the table that did not get any because there weren't enough. But it would have been nice at least for them to go okay, they're not having rice, so let's bring double vegetables out and make sure their plate gets filled up with as much food as everybody else.
Yeah.
And their bulking agent is just vegetables, whereas everybody else's is rice. But it's not a knock on them. It's just it's you have to compare it a little bit to the other two restaurants, and the other two restaurants just a little bit better than that. So that's everything we ate. And I do have to say, this was even shocked me more, is if you saw the video on the 10 things that we bring with us on a trip, and some of them were foods and snacks, and we brought keto bricks and Nola bars and chocolate, and what else we have? Carnivore crisps and pork rinds. They're all still sitting over there. We never ate them,
with the exception of 2 squares of the chocolate.
So there's 90% of a chocolate bar left.
90% is good enough, is what I understand.
But yeah, I never felt like I missed out on dessert or anything like that. So
no.
Eating keto, staying keto, and enjoying your cruise is absolutely possible. Just takes a little bit of planning.
Yeah.
So, let us know if you've gone on a cruise on Royal Caribbean. What is your favorite dining company, a dining restaurant, or even any other cruise line. It doesn't even have to be Royal Caribbean. If you've gone on other cruises, what are your favorite specialty restaurants? Is it something you've thought about? Let us know down in the comments section. Now, if you like seeing videos like this, take a look at some of the videos we have linked right over here. Also, make sure you check out our most recent videos. I'm going to put right over there.
But whether you head this way or you head this way, don't forget to head this way. Subscribe to our channel and click the little bell icon, and that way every single time we go out to eat, you'll be alerted to it.
Till next time.
Bye.